What is up, folks?
How's it going?
We are getting quite the kick out of the pregame commentary going on.
Yeah, before we start,
in
there's
the chat.
There's some serious pregame chat, early game craziness going on. I mean, shark attacks and plane crashes on the highway. Charlie, glad you're all right.
Yeah, Charlie, right. Beast mode. That's a terrifying experience, though. But yes, to second Tom's words, we were laughing at your comment about walking on water, except you were running.
I believe it.
I can imagine.
If you need someone to vouch for you being the second person to walk or run on water, I will vouch for you.
Yes, we all heard it here, folks. But yeah, besides all that craziness, what's going on? How is everyone coping? It's our first Wednesday without Book of Boba Fett to talk about, and it hit me last night when I went to bed at like 11 o'clock. I was like, y'all, I don't gotta stay awake till like 2:30 in the morning anymore. I can go to bed, but I was at the same time very sad. Oh, TMoney liked your haircut. I did it. I did his haircut. Yeah, starting in 2020 when we couldn't leave our houses, I became the barber for Tom and my brothers, and I literally had never cut anybody's hair before. But now I'm like a pro. I've been cutting his hair still. Yeah. So
yeah, she does a great job.
Saves us money. So thank you, TMoney, coming from you.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate that. But yeah, how has everyone's week been? First week without Book of Boba. I'm so happy to see Cad Bane, says Marshall Lotta. Yeah, but how did you feel during the finale? Yeah. Sean says, coping all right. Hung out with a friend today. That's awesome. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you. Joshua, what's up? Aden, how's it going? Alice, my girl, Knight of the Force, Charlie, of course. I have to give a huge shout out to both Alice and Charlie, and honestly, any of you who had something nice to comment on my Rings of Power trailer reaction from the little teaser spot that dropped during the Super Bowl. I gotta give a shout out to Aden because he commented, because I know Aiden's not a Lord of the Rings fan, but he commented like, oh, I'm so excited for you guys. You guys must be excited. And I felt really bad because he got bombarded with comments that were like, bro, no, we are not. So many people were like, nope, we are not excited about this. And I was like, stop, no, leave Aden alone. But Alice, Charlie, they were fighting off some trolls in that comment section. I feel like you were even looking at my analytics. That was my worst performing video, right? In terms of
likes, yeah. It was the lowest ratio of any video that I've ever seen.
Meaning more dislikes than likes.
Yeah.
Which, like, rarely happens. Yeah. So... that was definitely... But, like, I knew that was gonna happen. But I just have to give shout-outs to Alice, who is clearly a huge Lord of the Rings fan. She was being so nice in the comments, and Charlie, I went through and saw like all the comments that he had deleted. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that mods had the power. Like, thank gosh, because I wasn't going through and looking at all those bad comments. But I didn't realize that moderators had the power to also delete mean comments or just like inappropriate things on videos as well, and not just manage the chat during live streams. So I went through and saw all this work that Charlie had done, snapped them out of there with his Infinity Gauntlet. And I was just so thankful because, like I said, I kind of posted that video and I was like, all right, this is one where I'm definitely just not going to read much of the comments. I usually, who disliked Catherine's video. It wasn't people necessarily disliking me. Well, I think people probably were upset with me, but in case you're unaware, context for what we're going to be talking about this evening, more sneak peeks and previews and kind of cast reveals. No, people were not mean. We're coming out. Oh my gosh, first off, Charlie, 6-month member, let's go!
Well done, sir.
Oh, you get a free chat? That's awesome. You beat me to it, LOL. But yeah, me and Alice had enough. Hope you don't mind. I'm hella protective of you. Stop. No, I loved it. And Grand Moff Tom. Hope that was okay. No, it was so okay. And like I said, I didn't know that you guys had the power to do that, my moderators. So I was like, thank gosh, because I would have been spending hours going through and having to delete some of those comments. Because people were fighting each other more so than they were fighting me.
There wasn't a lot of hate directly towards Catherine. A lot of the response to the video was just very loud voices and frustration against what is happening with the show. And so that's our opening topic for tonight. We're going to discuss what we thought of the teaser, what we thought of, we think of all the news that we've been hearing about the show up to this point. We're going to try and keep it, as civil as possible.
Yes, we are nowhere near as... We, of course, have differing opinions. So I was like, let's do this for Dork Discourse. Like, let's save it for the stream so that we can have a little bit of a dialogue because we're on different pages, but we're not going to be anywhere... To all the Lord of the Rings fans, we're not going to be anywhere near as volatile as some of the fans have been. No, there was no hate towards me. Or it was more so maybe people just angry that I enjoyed the trailer, and I've enjoyed all of the promotional materials that they've released so far, and I have a very positive outlook on the show. Some people who are extreme loyalists to Tolkien and Lord of the Rings and the literature and the author's OG wish for the series are not so happy and are writing off the show, in my opinion, a little bit prematurely. We have received a fraction of the content that this show is going to provide for us in September, and my stance is it's a shame to see people ripping into it so much, and some of it just for stupid reasons, like some of the casting choices or whatnot, in my opinion. Again, I know some people care more about that than I probably do, so that was the main bulk of like why people would have been mad at me, because I was visibly like, I cried when I watched the teaser. I mean, maybe it was mainly the music. I mean, the Lord of the Rings score. I mean, we know for sure that is going to be one element of the show that will not let us down. You can count
certainly hope not.
Well, it's Howard Shore. I mean, they're bringing back the goats. So we know it's going to be good, but even what we heard in that teaser, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like transporting me. TMoney, a 6th-month member as well.
TMoney.
Let's go. Still sucks about the comments in that video. I hope people chill out. I'm going to a Harry Potter shop in Boston tomorrow with a friend. I'm so excited.
Nice.
That's so exciting. Is it like a pop-up shop? Like, or is it like a permanent Harry Potter store? That's exciting regardless. Oh my gosh. Send me pics. Please, actually do send me pics. I want to see what that looks like. Is it going to be like a Hogwarts inspired, like, is it going to be decked out as if you were like entering a Harry Potter world, or is it just like a huge merchandise collection? Let me know. I'm really curious, and seriously, send me pics. But yeah, that's what we wanted to discuss tonight, how we each received the trailer, how we feel about the show in general, our perspectives. So yes, of course, Tom had some different thoughts. I loved the trailer. They obviously didn't reveal anything. It was less than 2 minutes. It's still not till September. Like, we were gonna get plenty more trailers between now and then. Aden also, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure several of you joined at the same time. Yeah. So Aden celebrating 6 months as well. Let's go.
Thank you, Aden.
Shout out to my OGs. Everyone else is using their free chat. I might as well too. Yeah, I didn't realize that was like a anniversary gift from YouTube, a free whatever. I like it. That's really fun.
Yeah.
And Zech, let's go. Yes, use those member chats. Hope you guys are doing well. Long time no see. I haven't been in a live stream in ages. I know. Where have you been? It's good to see you. Seeing all 3 Lord of the Rings movies at IMAX next week. All 3 films in one day. Oh my god, that is going to be a marathon.
Yeah.
I want to look into that. If they offer something like that here, I would totally do that.
That'd be awesome.
That's so awesome. Oh my god, I'm so excited for you. Have a great time. But also, I hope you have like those like blue light protective like glasses lenses so that your eyes don't get tired.
Yeah, if you have those, definitely bring them.
Those come in clutch. But that is awesome. I'm excited for you, Zech. And it's so great to see you here. I don't mean it when I say, yeah, where you been? I don't want people to think that I understand that people have lives, so never apologize for being absent from the streams. But yes, do you want to share some of what you were thinking about? You had a different reaction to the trailer.
Yeah, so I guess if anyone's new here, you'll learn very quickly that Catherine and I pretty much agree on nothing. I think we disagree on everything. Like, there's really nothing that we agree on.
Except for some prequel or sequel and prequel perspectives, I would say. In terms of Star Wars, it's not like you're an OG trilogy and I'm a sequel person. Like, we have very similar stances there. But.
Yeah. I
but
agree,
majority of the time.
Yes, yeah. So, she was talking about the root cause of a lot of the backlash, and you kind of stopped yourself, but you said, like, for stupid reasons. And I'm one of the people that fall under that stupid reasons category. From a lot of the stuff that I've been reading online, and even a lot of the comments that were, on the video, it's talking about things that go against the lore, basically. And so I think a lot of the concerns are, is this lore breaking and disrespectful to Tolkien's lore that he's created? And I think there's some valid concerns there. I know, Alice, you sent a comment about Galadriel, and her being a warrior, and I've seen a ton of comments saying that, like, she was never in battle, and her power comes from looking innocent, but then being, this insanely powerful sorceress. Like, you see, like, my favorite scene between The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings is in Battle of Five Armies, when Galadriel shows up to rescue Gandalf from Gol-Dor, and Galadriel shows up, and then Elrond and Saruman, and, like, that scene, like, them showing up, like, when that happened in the theater, was unreal. And it's so powerful because, like, Galadriel looks so innocent and harmless. And so at first shot, seeing the trailer, like, I'm not a huge lore person. Like, I don't know the lore in and out. I haven't read the books. I don't know a ton of stuff about it on anyone's backgrounds. But, seeing Galadriel in the armor, like, kind of threw me off a little bit. But, like, you were saying that it is in the lore that's what happens at this point in her life. So that's great, because that was one of the concerns that I had. But then, like you were saying, the casting and everything doesn't bother you, but some of the casting definitely bothers me. And when you pair it with, like, comments saying, well, I'll talk about that later. But, like, for example, Elrond. I thought that there's another character they showed in the trailer, and I was like, oh, that's Elrond. But then after reading all the comments, it was like, oh no, the guy with the shorter hair is Elrond.
Gil-galad is the other person.
And I was like, that's Elrond? That looks nothing like Elrond. It looks like Star-Lord's dad in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh my god!
What's it? Guardians of the
Galaxy.
Yeah. It looks like Star-Lord's dad, but younger in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Russell,
yes, he does. Yes, he does. He looks like a young version of that. I was like, that is totally not Elrond. But I mean, obviously, that's just from appearance. Like, when we actually see the show, like, the opinions could change, and maybe, I mean, they obviously got cast for a reason. But I think the reasoning depends, like, is to be determined, because there's been stuff coming out about the creator saying, like, and comments from people saying, like, the show needs to reflect the world we live in, and that's something that you appreciate. But, like, from, I think, a lot of people's perspective, it's like, no, it shouldn't, because the whole point of having a fantasy is that it's a world that is totally detached from the current world we live in, and it acts as an escape. And so if you create a show and say you're going to respect the lore and the legacy, but then you say, oh, you're going to make all these changes just to reflect the world that we live in, then that's breaking the lore. Like, bottom line, That's breaking the lore. That's going against the lore. And so this is where we majorly disagree. And I think that there's, you know, a lot of reason to be nervous if you're a diehard lore nut of Lord of the Rings. Like, if people are saying we have to make changes to reflect our world, but it's a fantasy, so it should be its own world. And it shouldn't reflect any morals or values of our world, because the whole point of having an entertaining fantasy is that, wow, this is so different from what we live in. We should keep it separate. But yeah, bottom line is all that stuff is just, you know, theory and speculation, all these things, and we really can't judge the show until it comes out.
Yeah, I want to acknowledge Josh's comment. Josh, thank you so much. It's so great to have you here. I'm feeling left out, so I guess I will use my pre-chat as well. I wasn't super excited about the show, but I love Lord of the Rings, so I will watch the series. Yes, I agree. I'm like, anyone who's truly as diehard as they say they are, you know, you can pick and choose whatever you want. I'm a firm believer in that. Like I keep saying with Star Wars, we're getting to a place where, yes, if you don't want to watch Book of Boba Fett, you don't have to, but I feel like this show has been so long anticipated that no matter what promotional material comes out, I'm still gonna watch it. Despite any...
I mean, absolutely.
Keep stars, Star Wars from Corpse. Hey, Corpse, what's up?
Yeah. Well said, Corpse.
Can you elaborate on what you mean? It's good to see you again. Remember, we were like, Corpse?
He's saying don't, like for this instance, like Star Wars is its own universe. Don't take Star Wars and make it match our world that we live in.
Okay.
Treat it separately. I believe that's what you're saying, Corpse.
I understand. So. I do not consider... Maybe I'm just not taking it as... I'm just not bothered by casting a Puerto Rican actor as an elf. And maybe I'm biased because I love that actor. He's incredible in everything I've seen him do. He was literally in Star Wars. This guy has achieved GOAT level. He played, in season 1 of Mandalorian, he plays the Twi'lek's brother that they break out of the prison. I don't remember his name, but yeah, I mean, it's a small role. Yeah. But he's achieved... GOAT status, but he's on like that level to be in Lord of the Rings and Star Wars. I'm sorry, but that's untouchable in my book. He's living the dream. Yeah,
and good for him.
Yeah, and obviously that was a really small role, but I've seen him in other things, and he's a really great performer. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see. Maybe that's the thing. I talked about this with my friend Screen Thrill Hector. A lot of these actors are kind of maybe more well known in like the UK or like up and comers, or like there's a lot of new faces. Like the guy playing Elrond is somebody mentioned, young Ned Stark. That was like that was a cool role, but he had one episode appearance on like a huge show. So like a lot of these people's careers, this is probably one of the biggest things so far, or to me at least, a lot of them are new faces. Yeah. So I'm like wondering if maybe if A-listers were chosen for some of these roles, if there would be less of an outcry. But to me, back to my main point, like that doesn't bother me so much. I'm going to care more about the performances and the acting at the end of the day versus, oh my gosh, all the elves are supposed to be white and blonde. Like, I'm not bothered so much by aesthetics.
No.
When it comes to casting, when it comes to surroundings or like environment, yes, that matters. Like to me, like if I read a book especially and I have an image in my head and then the film completely just goes off and does its own thing and it looks completely inaccurate, then I'm gonna be mad. But like Dune, for example, really aced it, I feel like, when it comes to the landscapes and the planets. So, like, that's what I care more about, I guess, when it comes to aesthetic. Staying true to that. When it comes to the appearances of the actors themselves, I guess I care more about what they bring to the table with their talent. To me, like...
And you're also coming from a place where you don't know all that hardcore lore.
Yes, but to me...
That spans literally thousands and thousands of years of Middle-earth
though, that is a small lore. That's if you're gonna break lore, that's I feel like a small subtle thing that you, in my opinion, subtle. I'm not bothered by it. I would be bothered if, say,
they
deleted
Star-Lord's dad and 20 years younger as Elrond.
No, I would be bothered by something more significant, like if they erased Samwise Gamgee as a character in general, like in translating in Peter Jackson's films. If he was,
if they did that, if they did that, then obviously no one and their mother is going to be watching this show.
Yes. Shout out quickly to Julian, member for 2 months. I love that everybody's having their like member anniversary right now. Hi, Cat and Tom. For a second, I thought Tom was Kenobi in the beginning. I can't wait to see how Halo is this March. Oh my gosh, that's right. I'm just hoping the new Lord of the Rings is good and exciting. Well, I wish I could say that Tom was Kenobi. Could you imagine if y'all like logged in and I was streaming and I had Ewan McGregor just chilling for a Dork Discourse episode? I was like, guys, I got him. I got him.
I am a little Scottish.
You are a little bit, yes. But anyway, maybe that's why I care less about. I'm trying to see this through a place of optimism, and like I said, I've just been anticipating this show for too long to watch one trailer and think, oh, this is gonna be horrible. Because you really can't predict that. We all watched the trailer for the final season of Game of Thrones, and I was hyped. And look what happened with that.
Yeah. Knight of the Force has a good point. There's plenty of non-blonde elves.
Well, a lot of people are saying otherwise. A lot of people are angry.
Arwen?
His casting...
Ariel?
Okay, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. I think his casting choice in particular is the one I've seen the most backlash towards. It sounds like you're saying I'm not bothered, so no one else has the right to be bothered. No, I'm not saying that. That's why I keep specifying that I'm not bothered. I'm not saying that's not a big deal and putting a blanket statement over it. I'm just saying from my perspective, I'm choosing to make my judgments more on when the content actually comes out. I understand what it's like to be a diehard fan of something and wanting... Throwback to when I was in, like, 8th grade, and they cast The Hunger Games. In The Hunger Games, Katniss is described as... She's got, like, gray eyes, dark hair, like, she has a very specific description. And then they cast Jennifer Lawrence, the blondest, like, blonde...
She had dark hair in the
Yes,
movies.
Obviously they changed her hair, but, like, when I saw that casting, I was like, what? Like, I understand.
Yeah, so that's different, but this, you're actually looking at footage of the characters.
Yes,
right?
I know.
That's not a casting. It's not like, oh, they released the cast list and then
Still,
you see this.
My point was,
member.
even with her wig, none of the casting in that movie matched to the way that I interpreted it, and I was obsessed with those books, and I was heated. You can ask my mom in the chat. This was back in the day when we just had a family computer. You know, you just have like a computer room. Like we had the big computer stand. It's still in our house. We never use it, but we just had a family computer, some PC Windows dinosaur, and I had to like Google on there the Hunger Games cast, and then I saw everyone that they had picked, and I was like raging. I'm in like 8th grade. I was like, what? I'm texting my friends on like my Samsung Flip. I'm like, look at who they cast. So I understand. I sympathize with what people are feeling when you care so deeply about a piece of literature and then you see the on-screen recreation and it is not what you had in your mind. Especially because if you're like me and you're a visual reader and you have these really like clear images in your mind, it can stink to see. Nick is like, Barb, can you attest to that? Zech Elliott, thank you so much, Zach. I feel like
Zach, you're a beast.
Did I miss other super chat? No, I
think it was just corpse.
Yeah, there's corpse again. Zach, thank you so much. There's some good left in this world, Mr. Frodo, and it's worth fighting for. Stop. You're trying to make me cry.
All-time quote.
The other best quote. Corpse says, we understand where you're coming from with ethnics and backgrounds. We support you guys. Corpse, thank you. Also, I just can't get over your user.
Yeah. Hilarious.
I love it.
Yeah, I think scriptic mind, that's a good comment. Like, that's, I think, where ultimately the root of the criticism and concerns are coming from, is that, yeah, Middle Earth has all these different cultures and representation and is a very diverse land. But in the movies that we see, the specific cultures we see happen to be white. You know, but do we see other cultures in the movies that aren't? Yeah. But seeing, you know, dwarves and elves that, from everything that we've seen and read in the lore, are, you know, white. And now, 2,000 years prior to the movies that we know, they're not. You know, some people are going to see that and say, you know, scream, you know, the racism card. And sure, there might be some people out there who just see that image and are instantly turned off because that's genuinely how they feel. Not from a lore perspective, but from that point of view. But I think the vast majority of the concerns are not coming from that angle. They're coming from, we don't care, you know, like, we acknowledge Middle Earth is diverse, but if you want to check the diversity checkbox, introduce those other cultures. Don't change the lore behind the cultures that we already know and love. So Scriptic, I think that's a very rational summary of the issue.
No, and that is a good point, but again, maybe I could care. At the end of the day, I just want the content itself to be good, and that's where my argument is coming from. People are writing this off. We've seen absolutely nothing about it. We've obviously gotten, you know, Vanity Fair, they did their piece and revealed a little bit more about what the plot's gonna look like. So we know a little bit about what the content is going to be, the storyline at least, but in terms of actually seeing footage, we've seen a fraction. So that's just what I'm trying to stay hopeful about. It's like, you know, how many times have we seen a trailer that did look amazing and then the actual, you know, project itself was not good? I could name a few, but I don't want to get roasted. But I mean, for example, and I've admitted this, I mean, Last Jedi, that trailer is sweet. We rewatch that trailer all the time because it's so hype.
Last Jedi trailer is all-time trailer.
And I was so hyped for that movie, and, you know, you all know it's not my favorite Star Wars film, but that trailer is epic. But in my opinion, the film doesn't reflect the hype that I felt when watching that trailer for the first time.
Yeah.
So I think
yeah, hopefully we have the reverse effect. Super controversial trailer that a lot of people hate and think sucks.
Yeah. And
then we get the show, and then, you know, Amazon proves everyone wrong, and they're like, listen, you guys were all concerned, but like the moment Sauron shows up, I mean, it's lights out. Like, it's game over. Like, the biggest concern and issue I have with the Lord of the Rings is the only time you see Sauron in the flesh is in the flashback scene in the beginning of the Fellowship when they're explaining the lore and the history, and Sauron's on screen at the base of Mount Doom, and then bam, he's done. But yeah, Monkey Jeebus, that's a great point. Like, if the studio and creators are gonna, like, go out and attack people who have differing opinions, like, yeah, it's not what should happen. Like, they should just trust in their product, spit out a good product, and prove them wrong. Prove the haters wrong.
Nic Gundy says, y'all ready to make bets? Yeah, should we do it here and now? Bad trailer equals good product.
Yeah, it's the law of averages, right? It's going to meet in the middle. So if you have a really awful trailer, then the show's going to be incredible. And then law of averages.
Yeah.
You can't have I guess it's more likely to have a good trailer and a good show than an awful trailer. Or no, it's more likely to have an awful trailer and then have an awful show than have a great trailer and have a great show. I don't know where I was going with that.
I'm not gonna lie, my brain kind of shut off for a second. I was like, what? But
yeah, I'm not. I don't know where I was going with that.
Moral of the story is, we had differing opinions, but you're excited, right? Like, you're cautiously.
Yeah, overall, I'm excited. I do have concerns though, and more concerns than I had with any Star Wars stuff that they put out. Like, any of the Star Wars stuff, I haven't felt the way I feel now after seeing the Lord of the Rings stuff.
Well, it's because we got a lot better news for, like, Kenobi.
Yeah, but like on-screen Star Wars, like you see a lot more. Like they show the diversity of the universe a lot more in Star Wars in general. You know, you think about like aliens and droids, and I mean, there's humans from all different planets, and so like I mean, like Star Wars in itself is way more diverse naturally.
Well, I feel like Star Wars
that we've seen on screen.
I feel like Star Wars has been accused of a lot of forced diversity, though.
It has, but not to level this. I think this raises the bar.
Or are people just, is this the straw that snapped the camel's back? Like, are people just...
Well, I think it's worse here because there is such a set understanding of these different cultures in Lord of the Rings. Versus Star Wars, I mean, there's like literally an infinite number of planets, infinite number of planets, and so an infinite number of cultures and ethnicities that you can come up with. But for Lord of the Rings, it's Middle Earth. You know, and you have the different areas on the map and different cultures and whatnot in each of those areas. And it's a very well understood, you know, a lot of lore and understanding behind what each of those cultures are and you know, information backing them. Versus Star Wars, I mean, it's a universe, not a planet, not a single chunk of Earth.
Yeah. Alice, so. I'm just so happy for Alice. She says I'm so happy about Lord of the Rings trailer. It's more of a snapshot of different scenes and I'm loving it. Yes, I agree completely. This is just a small little outlook into what it's going to be. I've waited years for anything new Lord of the Rings, so I want to ask you how you felt about The Hobbit. I have mixed feelings about The Hobbit, but I want to hear from you, Alice, what your thoughts are. TMoney makes a good point. I remember when people saw John Boyega as a stormtrooper for the first trailer. Feel bad the way he was treated back then. Yeah, agreed. Agreed completely. So I think Hollywood still definitely has a long way to go, but I'm hoping that the content of this show proves that acting means more at the end of the day.
Well, you're an actor.
Yeah,
but nerds who have read all the books and are deep into the lore don't care about that. Yeah. Like, none of these movies are going to win Oscars or Emmys or I don't even know the awards.
That's not necessarily true. Game of Thrones?
I'm just saying.
I think that this show is going to be on the level of hype as Game of Thrones. And I know that the creators came out and said, this is no, you don't have to worry about the content being on the same line as Game of Thrones. It's going to be more family friendly. But I just think in terms of the scale of the production, the budget, the CGI, the costuming, the scale of this project, like I think this is going to be the next Game of Thrones. Where was I going with that? Oh, and they were nominated for Emmys. Yeah, a lot of the Game of Thrones actors, I'm pretty sure, did Emilia Clarke win an Emmy? I'm gonna confirm. Zech, I'm looking forward to Pixar's Lightyear. Yep. Yes, a good lighthearted film amidst all of this. What's gonna be heavier content coming out? Yep. The Batman Multiverse of Madness. I mean, Kenobi, I'm hoping is gonna be kind of dark, kind of traumatic, kind of sad. I don't think it's gonna be a pick-me-up show. If it is a pick-me-up, then that's the biggest letdown of all time. Alice, that's a great point. There's always going to be complaints. And so, you know, from my perspective, I think you're not going to satisfy everyone. So stick to the lore. Stick to what has come before. And, you know, if you're going to get hate anyways, you might as well satisfy the people who love the lore. All right, so Peter Dinklage won all of the actual awards, but a lot of them were nominated. Emilia Clarke got a nomination, Kit Harington, Lena Headey, Maisie Williams, Gwendolyn Christie, Sophie Turner, Alfie Allen, Nikolai Coster-Waldau. So basically, like, the whole cast received nominations. So yeah, that's the level of expectation. Watch Extended Hobbit, much better. Oh, okay. Extended all the way, says Knight of the Force. Oh, do we have those on HBO Max? I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen the extended version. I didn't even... Oh, yeah, might have to do that. Extended is much better. Oh, okay. Yeah. Interesting. We'll have to watch those. Yeah. Are they like 5 hours long, like the extended versions of the Lord of the Rings films are? That would be... I want to rewatch those movies. I had a new level of. I used to crap on those movies. You guys know. I think I had some late night streams once where I ranted about The Hobbit. Julian says, I can't wait to see how Kenobi series is going to be and how they will use Hayden Christensen in the series. I know. We're going to... That's a good segue, because that's what we also wanted to talk about tonight with some casting announcements coming out. Aden says, people complained about Heath Ledger when he was cast as the Joker, and look what happened after. Oh my gosh, that's a really good point. I mean, one of the best. See, exactly. People can complain all they want, but when an actor brings that much to the character and brings that much to the table and literally revolutionizes it, I mean, he's legendary for that. So you make a really good point.
If you're the actor and if you're the creator, use all that hate as fuel and then make the best product you can. And then when it comes out, make people eat their words. But, sitting there and, adding fuel to the fire by responding to any kind of hate you get and acknowledging all these hate comments, it's like ultimately a lot of it's not out of hate for you. It's out of a hate for the decision the creators had made in the show. And so if someone had genuine criticisms of Heath Ledger being cast as Joker, he put all that aside and said, I'm going to play the best damn Joker that I can. And then he did. And then everyone shut up afterwards.
Yeah. Exactly. No, he won the Oscar for that. Yeah. Correct? He won the Academy Award.
Yeah. Yeah. Real quick, before we segue into Kenobi, John Robbie had a good question about the just quality and how it looked. Because for a, billion-dollar show, the most expensive show of all time, everyone kind of had super high expectations for what it was actually going to look like. And I think the opening shot of the trailer looked incredible. I don't know if that was the Grey Havens. I think it was. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it looked like the Grey Havens. That shot was incredible. But then everything after that was kind of it looked very heavy CG, and it had more of a feel of the Hobbit movies, I thought, than the Lord of the Rings. Which I'm surprised that you like, because you hate the fact that the Hobbit feels more CG than practical. We
saw the Hobbit films are hours long of that look, that aesthetic, I'll call it for lack of a better word. Just evidently green screen, nothing is real. You can tell that absolutely none of their surroundings are real. And that's the main complaint that I had about the Hobbit movies, because it's that for the whole film. Consecutively. This trailer looked like a mix of actual set, and we even saw that backstage, behind the scenes,
Fair
where they were in that huge soundstage just filled with water for the out stranded in the ocean scenes that we saw a little bit of in the trailer. So I take issue when it's a long extended period, green screen through the whole thing. Because you just start to notice it, and then there's no escape. You just can't stop. I feel like we didn't see enough in this trailer for me to fixate on it the way that I do with those movies, because we literally just saw a few seconds worth. Yes, some scenes did look very heavily reliant on CGI.
Well, as it's going to be in a fantasy, but...
Well, my main argument is look at the original Lord of the Rings films.
Look at the Black Gate scene in Return of the King.
Oh my god.
And talk about that CG. Okay. That is, for those of you who don't know, I feel like we've brought this up at some point.
We have.
I feel like we brought it up at some point. But personally, I think some of the worst CG visual effects of all time is in Return of the King, when, Aragorn and the gang are standing outside the Black Gate, and Frodo and Sam are already, at Mount Doom. And the Black Gate opens into Mordor, and you see the orc army and everything. I think that is, some of the worst CG of all time. And I love Return of the King. That's my favorite Lord of the Rings movie by far. But yeah, just want to point that out there while we're talking about the CG of the original Lord of the Rings movie. But,
okay, but I've, that I think just looks extremely, in the context of the rest of the film, which the original Lord of the Rings trilogies used a lot of practical effects, filmed a lot on location, used a lot of those like maquettes, like they would build a lot of the like locations, miniatures, and use those like for production. A lot of that was like real stuff. So that scene I just feel like looks particularly, yes, bad because it's one of the first, like, they don't rely heavily on CG. So Aden says, if we're talking Kenobi, then I can't express how excited I am to see Hayden. The 4-year-old me and the pretentious hack of a teenager I am today has been wanting to see his return since Revenge of the Sith. And yes, segueing now to Kenobi.
Yes.
Because I feel like they've been slow. There's been, I don't know if it's like been fully confirmed. I've seen a lot on Twitter that I don't know if it's fully backed by Lucasfilm or not, but from like the Star Wars news outlets. And one thing that we saw, and maybe it was even Ewan McGregor who said this in an interview, that Hayden is just, he's gonna be like an active role. Like he has a big part in this show, which makes me excited because, you know, when they first mentioned, you know, Hayden Christensen was going to be returning, my biggest fear was, okay, but is it going to be for like one episode, or is this going to be equally his show as it is Ewan McGregor's? Like, obviously it's Kenobi, but his story is tied with Anakin's, and like we need to have a decent amount of Anakin content in this.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch that little clip that they released from the Investor Day, that's on Disney Plus. I mean, Deborah Chow says, like, you know, you can't address Kenobi without addressing Anakin. And so, based on that statement and the way she phrased it, I mean, it seems like it's a pretty good split between Anakin's story and Obi-Wan's story.
Yeah.
And I mean, the two characters are so intertwined that I think it would be very, very difficult to get the full scope of how each character's feeling without, you know, addressing both characters in the same timeline. So yeah, I think we a very, 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 very good shot that we get a ton of Hayden screen time in the show.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it's Hayden or Vader,
you mean Anakin or Vader?
Or
like Vader
or
in
Vader's
the suit, yes.
suit
I don't even care if he's in the suit the whole time. There's got to be a scene where we see him unmasked, but...
Yeah. Even Ewan hinted at...
Yeah.
Ewan said something about how he and, like, Hayden had scenes together as Obi-Wan and Anakin.
Yeah.
Not Obi-Wan and Vader, so...
From Zech, real quick. Thank you, Zech. Shelob the spider used to give me nightmares. He still does.
Yeah, Shelob is horrifying.
Still does. And Sal, what's up? Thank you for joining us, my friend. It's really good to see you. Hayden, OMG, he's jacked again, so I know flashbacks 100% are going to happen, but still more hyped. And yeah, I think some of the casting releases that they've announced, again, I don't know how much of this was confirmed by Lucasfilm. I see all this on Twitter, so I take it all with a grain of salt. But that the Grand Inquisitor is going to be one of the casting elements, and Bail Organa, I saw that like last night, maybe? Yeah, I literally saw that on Twitter last night, that he will be returning to reprise his role, which confirms, if you guys were here for... That would no. Did we talk about that in a Dork Discourse, or was that in our Kenobi?
What, the Bail plot theory?
Yeah, that he's gonna go.
Yeah, that was in our video.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean that's a huge. That I feel like confirms a huge chunk of your theory.
Yeah, I mean, for those of you who haven't watched us debate Kenobi, yet again, that's something that we vastly disagree on. So if you haven't seen that video, definitely recommend going to check it out. Because it's very split. It's a very, very split, it seems like, in the fan base in terms of, I mean, the main question is, are they going to clash sabers in person, you know, in real time, actually 10 years after Revenge of the Sith, or is this Clash, Showdown of the Century rematch going to be a flashback, vision, dream sequence, nightmare sequence, depending on whose nightmare or dream it is, or is it going to actually be in real time in person? And so to summarize that video, Catherine thinks that it should not be in person because it will break the lore of the original trilogy. I think that it absolutely should be in real person, and it will only enhance the original trilogy.
You want to talk about lore breaking?
No,
yeah,
no,
there's
no.
lore breaking for you.
That is lore enhancing. There's no line in the original trilogy that says, I haven't seen you since Mustafar 20 years ago on Revenge of the Sith.
Okay. Well, no, and honestly, the more that they are revealing, like when they revealed some of that concept art, and even what Ewan McGregor has said himself, that, we're going to be going at it again. I don't know what he could be alluding to, but some of the details that they have released, yes, are making it sound like they are going to be fighting face to face.
Yeah, and when those two fight face to face, and it's the craziest, most emotionally draining battle and lightsaber fight in the entire history of Star Wars, no one's going to be upset about it. This is an instance where Deborah Chow is seeing all these comments for years and years and years saying they should not meet in between Revenge of the Sith and No Hope for XYZ, QWZ, XQWYZ, all these reasons. And she's saying, no, they are going to actually meet. They're actually going to meet. They're actually going to fight in person, wherever it may be. And then when everyone watches the show, they're going to be like, wow, I'm so glad they didn't listen to my theory. And they actually created the consequential story that's going to enhance the original trilogy. And when you watch the original trilogy, every line Vader says about, when I last left you, I was but the learner, now I'm the master, and Obi-Wan saying he's more machine now than man, twisted and evil. And all these little lines, those lines are going to happen, and then you're going to have a totally new understanding, and it's going to even be more impactful than thinking of the last time they met was in Mustafar and Revenge of the Sith. But in terms of Bail Organa, we kind of segued a little bit, but Jimmy Smits being cast and being in the show, my original theory is that, ultimately Obi-Wan's going to have to leave Tatooine. And like Deborah Chow has hinted at that, the show starts on Tatooine and we see Obi-Wan's day-to-day routine, and then it just goes from there. And for it to go from there, I don't think there's a shot that he stays on Tatooine. And from the concept art, we see that he doesn't. And so there has to be a very, very, very good reason for him to leave Tatooine. And I think the reason is if the other twin offspring of Padme and Anakin is in danger. And she's not on Tatooine. And if Jimmy Smits is in it, then it makes complete sense. And if the last time that, Jimmy Smits and Obi-Wan communicate before A New Hope is in this show, then I think it still makes sense. And I've thought about this. Leia's line in A New Hope where she says, in her message, her hologram, she says, years ago you served my father in the Clone Wars. I think that she can be in the show and she can be in danger, but Bail isn't going to let Leia know that she's in danger. Like, she's going to hide her from that. And she's not even going to know about Obi-Wan. Like, she's going to be totally oblivious to the peril that she's in. But Bail's going to know. And, Obi-Wan's going to have to make a decision. Do I stay with Luke? Or is the other child in enough danger that I need to leave to go protect her and risk leaving Luke unprotected? So I think it makes perfect sense if Bail Organa is going to show up in the show.
Yeah, and who was it? Sal made a really good point. I have a feeling Obi-Wan will be venturing to Alderaan for some business with Bail. It should be our first live-action trip to Alderaan. We need that. Yeah, that would be really... No. And TMoney made a good point. And while I guess I don't maybe necessarily want Obi-Wan and Anakin to face off, we've had like 3 shows in a row now where Tatooine has been a central planet.
Yeah, right.
I need a break. Like, please go anywhere. Please go off-world. Go anywhere else.
So much Tatooine, and we haven't even seen Watto yet. It's blasphemous.
They're saving him for this show.
Blasphemous.
I swear they're saving him for this show. They're going to. But yeah, no. I hope we see Alderaan or even Coruscant.
I don't even know. I'm not so sure that it's going to be actually on Alderaan, though.
That they would rendezvous somewhere
I'm not so sure. I don't know. I'm not totally set on the fact that Obi-Wan is going to go to Alderaan. I feel like Leia might be in danger somewhere else off world from Alderaan.
She go to boarding school.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, but I think there are reasons why Obi-Wan going to Alderaan would be very there'd be a lot of threads left where I think it'd be easier for the Empire to realize his connection with, Bail Organa specifically. But if it's off world of Alderaan and they're in trouble, and then Obi-Wan, shows up, then I think it'd be easier to explain away the fact that for the next 9 years, the Empire still doesn't find Obi-Wan, and he still is on Tatooine. Yeah. But if they do go to Alderaan, that'd be sick. That'd be awesome. Would be.
Julian, thank you. Don't forget, Qui-Gon is coming out too as a Force Ghost. I hope
he has to. Qui-Gon voice has to be.
He needs to.
We rewatched Revenge of the Sith last week, and if you watch the end of the movie, in the kind of epilogue, after the battle on Mustafar, when they're on the Tantive 4, Yoda literally tells Obi-Wan, wait a moment. Like, in your solitude on Tatooine, training I have for you. And then he says that Qui-Gon has returned from the netherworld of the Force, and Yoda's going to train Obi-Wan how to commune with Qui-Gon. So, Yoda, Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon communication is a given. If I'm a betting man, we're hearing Liam Neeson.
Yeah, well, I've been thinking, about that since we rewatched it. If Yoda's training him, maybe we'll see Yoda as well, which would bring me peace, because I just feel so terrible for him at the end of Revenge of the Sith. I would like to maybe see him, I don't know. I don't know how that would work, but it's making me curious. But, back to the your central point. Yes, it's not like I'm gonna be like, no, they ruined it if Obi-Wan and Anakin do face off again. As long as it is meaningful as flip. As long as it comes near Battle of the Heroes level, the greatest lightsaber duel we've ever seen in history. As long as it is, game changing, rocks my world, I will never be the same again. That's what I want, but that's why I'm fearful. I would rather not have them fight in person at all than have them fight if it's not going to be life-altering, epic shiz.
It will be.
It needs to be.
They don't have a choice. And you know why? Because they have built this 6 1-hour episodes show totally around them fighting in between Revenge of the Sith and New Hope. That is the whole climax of the show, and they've already advertised that. They're already saying this show is going to be the rematch of the century between Obi-Wan and Anakin. And so that rematch is going to happen in episode 5 or 6, whenever it's going to happen, later in the show. And then the whole build-up is going to be Obi-Wan's night terrors, and then flashbacks to him and Anakin in the Clone Wars when they were brothers and they loved each other and all this stuff. And it's going to build and build and build. And, maybe we'll even see Natalie Portman and Padme and all these things that are going to remind us of how tragic Revenge of the Sith is. And then we're going to see him fight. And it's going to be, you have now been reminded for 5.5 hours of pure Anakin, Obi-Wan PTSD from Revenge of the Sith. And now we're making you watch them fight again.
Yep.
They have no choice but to make this duel the most climactic, meaningful, emotional duel in all of Star Wars. It
the feelings I felt episode 6 of Book of Boba Fett. I think a lot of us can agree. I've never felt that way watching. I was just this can't be real life. Yep. It was too amazing to believe. Kenobi needs to eclipse that. Kenobi needs to be that every single episode. There's no exception.
No.
And Nic Gundy makes a good point. It's Deborah Chow. She'll make it just. Yeah, I do trust her And like I keep saying, I like that it's just going to be her vision all the way through. I don't know, that just that brings me peace, knowing that there's not too many cooks in the kitchen, everybody trying to have their own episode. Like, it does, that sounds like it is going to be more like a 6 hour movie split into, you know, episodes.
Yeah.
Versus each episode is a new thing, kind of like Book of Boba Fett was. Granted, there were more time jumps in the flashbacks with that, but honestly, I mean, maybe we should be preparing that's what Kenobi could be like. Everybody wants flashbacks, so I mean, I wonder.
I think we're gonna get them. I think that it makes sense, and I think that's only gonna build to the climactic duel that they're gonna have. And if they go through this show and they do all this build up of reminding us about the characters and relationships they once had, and then how it was all torn to shred, and now Obi-Wan has nightmares when he sleeps, and Anakin is a crippled, fried, limbless man, and then they just have them duel in some kind of force vision or some dream sequence or something, that's going to be a huge letdown. Because in the moment of the show, like, yeah, we've been speculating about this for years. Ever since Disney bought Lucasfilm, we've been saying, like, oh, and they announced they were going to do anthology stuff. We're like, oh my God, we need an Obi-Wan show in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. Like, these theories have been spooling for like a decade now. And now we're finally here from 2012 into 2022, and we're finally getting the show. And if all that speculation and all the show buildup of, you know, reminding us of these characters and really emphasizing the dark time period that we're in, and then we get this duel of the century in like a dream sequence, people are going to be pissed. Even if you're like Catherine and you think that they shouldn't even meet in person. After watching the show, you're not going to be thinking about the original trilogy. You're going to be thinking about what is currently happening in the show. And in that moment, I guarantee you're going to be wanting, like, I need them. They have to fight. You're going to be like, actually, I think you're going to be like, I don't want them to fight. Like, if they fight, like, my heart's going to break. I'm going to be a crying, bobbling baby, and I'm not going to be able to handle it if they fight. And then they're going to fight. And then it's just going to be tragedy.
You make a good point.
Yeah.
A lot of good comments here. I want to catch up.
This is a great discussion.
Can May take any longer to get here? Yeah, and especially since it's basically more like June. It's the equivalent of Book of Boba Fett coming out in December when there's 3 days left of December. I mean, we gotta wait like the whole month pretty much. Can't believe we are getting the next few months. Batman, Moon Knight, Doctor Strange, Obi-Wan, Morbius, Mayans, MC, The Northman. What a wild few months. Yeah. I want more than 6 episodes. I agree, Colin. Like, I was a little dismayed when I read that it was just going to be 6. But Book of Boba Fett has shown us that they are venturing into longer episode lengths. You know, all of these Kenobi episodes, I'm sorry, but if a single one of them is less than 40 minutes, I'm not accepting that.
No,
like,
it's not.
They need to each be like upwards of 50 minutes. I'll take 50. Ideally 60. If each of these was like a mini movie, that's what I want. That's what this deserves. That's, especially if you're only having 6 episodes. I mean, I don't know how extended this storyline is going to be. We don't know anything about plot. So I don't know. Maybe they have a plot that wouldn't even necessarily warrant more than 6 episodes. Who knows? But depending on the extent of the story, they have to cram this into a 6 episode time frame. Then they need to be 6 episodes, but an hour more long.
Exactly.
Yes,
I think it's a perfect time. It's basically an Obi-Wan trilogy, except we're getting robbed of the capability to see it in theaters, which is it's going to eat at my soul for as long as I live that we can't watch this in the movie theater. But I think it's a perfect amount. I don't think you need to have 4 seasons of 20 episodes each with half-hour long episodes.
No.
Like I think that denser, richer content and less time is more powerful here than spreading it out and thinning it out.
They've been confirmed 60 or more minutes long. No, that's what Theory and Josh said. Oh, I don't know. I didn't see anything. I haven't seen anything saying that.
I think they've pitched it as 6 1-hour-long episodes.
Oh, then thank gosh.
Yeah.
Thank gosh. T-Money, I see you're peacing out. Have a good one.
Yeah. Later,
Send
T-Money.
me those pics from the Harry Potter trip you're going on.
Alice, I saw your comment. Are you saying Kenobi Vader's going to be worse than Boba and Cad fighting? Is that what that comment's referring to?
No, I think she meant if it happens in the dream.
Oh, I agree with you there. I definitely agree with you there. It'll be way less impactful than Boba and Cat fighting. At least Boba and Cat fought in real life. I mean, as far as we know now, maybe the whole Book of Boba Fett, he was just in another bacta tank on Kamino.
Oh,
no,
God.
Kamino's dead. That's right. Kamino's
Rip.
blasted from the face of the earth.
I still need to watch the Old Republic trailer, one and only. Should I do a reaction to that, guys?
Yeah, I think you should.
I should? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think you should.
Maybe I'll film that right after this.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll wrap this up. Nathan, what's up? Haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you. Jealous of Theory's movie room. Oh my god, I know, right?
Oh, yeah, his room is so cool.
Yeah, he's
So
got
awesome.
the prime spot
Yeah.
to be watching Kenobi.
Yeah.
I mean, that is just the dream setup that he's got. So he's essentially watching it in a movie theater. Oh my goodness. Anyone else freak out when they loaded up Disney Plus to watch Boba? Then saw Obi-Wan there? Biggest thirst trap ever. Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh, the little teaser they released.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yo,
It does
yeah.
look, it's very, it looks very much like it could be the thumbnail for the show.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, Alice, can you do a reaction to that 77 Lord of the Rings show you spoke about in the comments? I've never seen it. I honestly want to film a full-blown video about that movie because I should not have been allowed to watch that as a child, and that whole thing is nightmare fuel. Have you seen it? We've been over this.
What, me?
We've been over
What,
this.
like the old Hobbit show?
I gotta find it.
Like the 2D animation Hobbit movie or whatever that was? I've seen that.
Yes. Animated movie, 1978. Images. Oh, sweet lord. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna share this with everybody.
Yeah, pretty sure I have seen this.
Ah! Okay, we're gonna share screen. Hang on.
Put it full screen.
Hang on. Wait.
Just put it full screen.
Let me close out some of my tabs. Okay.
Just put a full screen.
I'm going to. Oh, sweet lord. Okay. Everybody brace yourself. All right. Ready? Streamception real quick. Oh, no, because our screen.
No.
Oh, no, they can
That's
still
good.
see it. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me that's not the most horrific thing you've ever seen. This is what
It's cute.
I was watching this when I
It's a
was
cute
like
little
6.
Lizard.
I should not have been allowed to. And his voice. Oh my gosh. Everything about Smeagol in this cartoon is terrifying. I honestly want to make a full just like video about this or like other movies that I should not have been allowed to watch as a child. Like this, Labyrinth, The Dark Crystal, all the Never Ending Story. All these like weird, obscure movies that like honestly I think have still scarred me.
I don't know a single one of those.
Willow, oh my god. Dark Crystal, nightmare fuel. So, but yes, this is what Alice is referring to. This is the 1978 animated Lord of the Rings movie that Mom, I mean, shout out to you. You let us watch this. But did we have this movie on tape? Is it a cartoon? Yes, we did. We had this the DVD, no, not DVD, the literal, oh my god, back in the day when we were all born. Cassette tapes, yes.
VCR?
VCR.
Cassette is audio.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
stupid.
Yeah.
Frog Monkey, yeah, he's terrifying. All right, if you're an adult and you're seeing that for the first time, maybe that's not that alarming, but as a child, I loved Willow, says Nic Gundy. Yeah, you need to watch Willow. I love Willow too, and it's an incredible movie, but when you're a kid, I mean, the whole beginning sequence, I was scared of that forever. I remember when I was watching that movie, and oh my god, I have a vivid memory of this. I think it was my uncle. We were all watching that movie. I was a little kid. My younger brother was even younger. Like, he was maybe 4 at the time. We're watching Willow for the first time. If you know how the movie starts, it's that woman is running away with the baby, and she's being chased by the queens, like, her hounds. Like, these wolf dog things that are chasing her. And this baby has special powers or whatever. So she takes the baby. She knows she can't outrun the wolves. So she puts the baby in a little basket and sends it down the river. And then the wolves come and they get her. Yeah, and when I was a kid, I was so terrified of that because they essentially come and they like eat her.
Yeah.
It doesn't show it, but like it insinuates. Yeah. And when I was a kid, I was like, oh my God, no, did she die? And I remember my uncle, he was like, no, she climbed up the tree. he fooled me. Like he was like, no, she got away. She climbed up the tree. Like he didn't want to say, yeah, they're eating her. And then when I went to rewatch that movie later, I'm like, she did not climb up that tree. She's stone cold dead. So yeah, this is what haunts me from my childhood. Never-ending Story. If you've seen that movie, they literally drown a horse. Like, talk about the most scarring thing you could ever witness. It's a child, so I want to make like a video documenting like
that would be very funny.
All of these terrifying things. Like, why was I allowed to watch these as a kid? And my mom was like, I was in the kitchen. Wait till your dad got home. Yeah, I gotta give it to my mom. I'm not blaming my mom. If anything, I think she's really chill for letting us watch all of this. We were watching Lord of the Rings when my little brother was 3. Like, we jumped right to the good stuff when we were kids. James and the Giant Peach, that one is also a little bit weird. Sorry, I just had to go on that tangent because that memory just came to me of my uncle trying to convince me that she didn't die. But yes, anyway, Smeagol in that that animated movie is really terrifying. And I think even the where can I watch this movie? Honestly, I kind of want to watch it like tonight. Or maybe I should film a video of like me rewatching it for the first time in honestly decades. Amazon Prime. Okay, so it's not free anywhere. Anthony Daniels voices Legolas.
Wow.
Let's go. Get it, Anthony. Okay, yeah, now I really need to rewatch this. Never-Ending Story was a classic, but it was a terrifying classic. There's a lot of scary elements of that movie. They cut a scene from Fellowship of the Ring that strongly implied that Bill the Pony dies after they sent him away. Okay, that's terrifying. Glad they got rid of that. Anybody watching Peacemaker, finale tomorrow, and greenlit for season... Oh, thank you, Charlie. Greenlit for season 2. Amazing show. No, but I've been hearing amazing things about the show again from my friend Hector, who runs the page Screen Thrill, and I actually want to have him on the channel because he's such a cinema nut, and I really love his opinions, and I think I want to have him on to discuss Kenobi predictions, because I trust his opinion like it's the gospel when it comes to cinema. Like, he is just so knowledgeable. He watches everything. I'm tempted to ask him, like, how do you have time for all this? But he has been raving about Peacemaker, said that John Cena's performance is actually so good. So I'm definitely need to check that out. What is going on? Okay. Somebody says you should make chainmail for your little Grogu. Maybe. Maybe.
That would be a nice project.
Yeah, that would take me a while. The Never-Ending Story and Willow are iconic films, and the toys are hard to find. Oh my gosh, I bet. My parents recorded Titanic for me and my sisters when they were young, but they skipped the car scene, so we were like, what happened? One moment they were running together, and the next they're in the water. Oh my god, Alice, that's hysterical. Titanic was another movie that scared me as a kid. The first baby watched Winnie the Pooh and Aristocats. By the third baby... By the time the third baby arrived, you were all watching Lord of the Rings. Yep, that explains my childhood. Don't forget Fanboys. I know, I have to do a reaction to that as well. If you don't mind, how old are you two? We're both going to be 25 this year. That's a disgusting thought.
Currently 24, 25 in the summer.
But we met when we were 17. That's even, like, weirder.
We did.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. Where was I going? John Cena is amazing and hilarious. That's really good to hear. Maybe I will check it out. I know nothing about the show. I still got the 2-part VHS Titanic. Yeah, that's a long movie. Another scary memory from my childhood. I remember though, I'll probably never go on a cruise ship because of the Titanic. But I remember when I was little, my parents took us to a local science museum, and they had an exhibit where it was like a Titanic exhibit. Like, they had a lot of artifacts and relics that they literally had found at the bottom of the sea. And when you went in, you got your ticket, and it would tell you the name of a real, like, passenger who was on the Titanic. So you would, like, get assigned this person's, like, name, and you would learn about their story throughout. And then at the end, it was so morbid. They would tell you if you lived or died. So some people would be like, your person drowned in the Titanic. It was horrifying. But really, really creative. But yeah, as a child, I was a little bit like, huh. Sean's turning 30. Whoa, big 3-0.
Nice. Happy 30th, Sean.
Nathan says, dang, y'all are young. Thank you for saying that, because it's starting to not feel like it. I look at teenagers now, and I'm like, haha, my people. But I'm like, actually, no. that's not my people. We're not teenagers.
No.
Oh, my goodness.
No.
X-Men confirmed in the MCU. Deadpool up next to join the gang. Oh my gosh, yeah, I need to rewatch that. It might be a little too late now to film a reaction, because when that commercial aired, we weren't really paying much attention. I couldn't even really, like, hear it for the Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, so I thought about reacting to it, but I've seen so many snippets of it now online, I don't know if it would be a true reaction. MCU is expanding, and it's gonna be insane! I know. I turned 25 this month, congrats! I hope you had a good birthday. Nathan's only 21. Enjoy it. Live it up. It's a good age. Actually, when I turned 25, I freaked out. Don't tell me that. Stop. Don't tell me that. No. I feel like people are getting younger these days. Like, 40's like no big deal. I don't know. I feel too young here with 19. Another fun age. That's a good time. I still have my VHS collection of original Star Wars, Dragon Ball Z, 90s Spider-Man, vintage Avengers cartoons. I'll put them in the VCR when I'm working in my garage or something. First off, the fact that you still have a VCR, shout out to you, Sal. That is like... I think you're maybe the only person I know who still has a VCR.
I know there's one in my parents' basement somewhere.
I don't even know. We might have tossed ours. That's really cool, though. Those are probably going to be worth a lot, honestly, in the future. Like, that's going to be... People are probably going to be looking for VCRs. They're going to become, like, these vintage relics.
I mean, you guys have all those VHS tapes still. Like, I would think that you have to have a VCR somewhere.
Maybe.
In your
Mom, don't get rid of those. Those might be worth something now that I think about it. Yeah, that's the one redeeming quality of our basement. I think I've told you guys, my basement is like the scariest place on earth. But that's where we keep all of our VCR collection. I'm 42. I really feel old with everyone else in this chat. No, Josh, you're young.
Not at all.
You're young.
Not at all. Age is just a number.
It is. I look worse than Aragorn. I mean, don't we all? Aragorn looks amazing. I feel old and young at 27. I listen to 60s, 70s, and 80s music, and I love the old 60s westerns. Yeah, an old soul. I like it. coming from my mom. She says, Josh, you're very young. Oh my goodness. I think we have VHS tapes in the basement. Oh
Wow.
my God. Wait,
what
Mom,
are the odds?
tell me you're joking.
What are the odds?
Tell me you're joking.
Perfect timing, really.
Please tell me you're joking. After... No, I was about to low-key start an eBay account. It said, Nic Gundy goes, Barb, why? Oh, no. Oh, I cannot believe the timing of this, guys. We have had those VCR collections for my entire life. And now finally someone mentions it, and I'm like, you know what? Hold on to those. Look, those could be worth something. And my mom says, not joking. Jesus. Oh, my God. Oh,
I mean, you did have a ton of them, so clear up that space.
Stop.
But yeah, I mean,
it's unbelievable that you're bringing this up.
Honestly, your collection was probably worth a solid chunk of change. But we don't need to go into details, so no one has any regrets.
Oh my
the
God.
house cleaning.
Stop. Look at Sal. He's like, no. Oh my God. I can't believe this. I'll not be taking any more comments on this. Gotta start thinking out. More like you gotta start going through the trash to bring them all back. Oh my God, those tapes aren't worth nothing. I don't know about that. I don't know. In the future, they might have been. Oh, I can't right now. I think I gotta end off on that. That's... Sal says, I'll be on the lookout for stores VHS for you. Oh my gosh, you do not have to do that. I bought the original trilogy box set originals for $3 at a flea market. I know where to look. Oh my gosh, that's
$3 is a lot of money, Bob.
Awesome.
3 times 10,000 for how many VHS tapes you threw out?
Yeah.
That's a lot of cash.
Yeah, that's really cool. Sal says he's got a record shop near him that sells VHS tapes. I could take a look. That's really neat. Yeah, they're probably going to be worth a lot. Worth a lot.
We have no VCR to watch VHS.
We don't even have a DVD player.
Yeah, we do. PS5.
Oh, I get it.
PS5 counts. It's a DVD player.
Sean says, thanks for the memories, and now I've got Fall Out Boy stuck in my head. Thanks for the memories. I would sing it, but I don't want to get copyrighted. My grandparents still have a VCR, and we've kept it in really good condition. That is an accomplishment. That's really neat. Hey, that old useless crap wasn't bothering anyone, alright? It was a nice showpiece when you would walk into the basement. I'm pretty sure your jaw dropped like the first time you saw our collection.
Yeah,
You're like,
very nice. Yeah.
The picture of Thrawn in the background is so cool. Thank you. I drew it actually.
Here, let me get you.
Yeah, here goes my my art manager. But yeah, that was a drawing that I did, inspired by oh, careful, the lights are shaking. Mark and Star Wars Theory did a stream from the Rule of Two honestly, that was like last year.
Oh, like 2 years.
It was a long time ago, and they were like, you know, if you guys, everybody do what a live action Thrawn would look like, or who would you cast as Thrawn, make up some fan concept art. And I literally was like sick that next day, so I was like, you know what? Let me do this. And I drew that in like a day or two, and it's available for sale on my website if you want to check it out. Oh my gosh. But yes, here comes my social media.
Yeah, so now we'll segue into Catherine art pieces.
Okay, this is going to be the quick plug.
Yeah. So there is, the majority of the wall back here is actually stuff that Catherine has done. So you can't see all of them over there, but if I do this, all 4 of those pieces in the corner are hers. And then there's the Vader behind me. I don't know if you can see it. That's also hers. But yeah, if you guys are new here, Catherine's a very talented artist. So here's most recent commission that she did. So you got this one.
Pre-game for
Yeah,
Kenobi.
yeah, very good, very good. Here's the first Star Wars drawing ever that she did.
Yeah, that's true.
Vader cracked helmet.
Throwback.
Let's see what else I got in the print collection here.
I think they are mainly curious
Here's
about the
yeah,
Thrawn.
yeah, I know. I got the Thrawn.
Oh.
I got the Thrawn. So here's the Thrawn. The Thrawn one. I'm trying to get it so you can actually see it.
That's still one of my favorite ones,
camera.
though.
Yeah, the Thrawn is...
Drawing a
awesome.
blue face was, like, surreal.
Yeah. And let's see what else I have in this stack that I... Oh, here we go.
Nicholas. I love it.
Yes, this was another commission that she did.
Yeah.
Got the
That was a fun one.
dark side ritual here. Very good, very good. And what else? I think I saw one. I think the Ahsoka one is in this stack as well.
Probably, like, buried there. It is.
Yes. Yeah. Here is the Apprentice.
I honestly want to redo that one, though, now that we have Rosario Dawson. Because that was me just trying to draw live action Ahsoka, like, before.
I thought this was with Rosario Dawson. I thought you did.
It was supposed to be, but it really doesn't look like her. Like, it's...
What, now that you've actually
Yeah,
seen Rosario
now
Dawson
that
as
we've
Ahsoka?
seen what she
Yeah.
looks like.
Yeah.
Charlie needs a pay raise. He does. Huge shout out to Charlie this evening.
Yeah, Chad is very...
Chat's been a
Wild
little
tonight.
naughty tonight. Thank you to Charlie. Can you get those works of art on shirts or hoodies? Not at the moment, but perhaps we'll look into expanding, or I don't know. Tom's had some clever ideas for some merch if we did want to release like hoodies or t-shirts or something for the channel. So it would be cool to have like those on there somehow. But yeah, he had ideas to go off of like funny stuff that I say, I guess, when I do my gaming streams, like I have no health, or like
No.
other funny things. So maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Yes, shout out to Charlie. Charlie working overtime. Charlie, you're doing an awesome job. He is. Huge shout out. Ooh, Alice says, by the way, Kat, I have a question. Is it possible to scan my own work and then get them online as digital prints, or it doesn't work like that? Honestly, I am the last person who knows how, like, if by digital print, do you mean NFT? Or like, I think I know what you mean. Like, you would give it to somebody, they could have the digital file and it would have like no watermark on it, kind of. I think that's possible. People, that's like becoming a thing that people are doing when it comes to like wallpapers or like digital prints, because a lot of people use like a digital file to as their backgrounds or wallpapers or whatnot. So I think that works. Don't quote me though.
No, she's just saying getting her artwork on t-shirts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
if you take a high quality or high res image of your work, I mean, there's plenty of sites that will make, take your uploaded image and then put it on a shirt for you.
Yeah, there's a lot. I think Redbubble is a site that does that. So it's kind of hard because a lot of those sites though will take like 75% of the profit because they're the ones essentially making it for you, the product. So yeah, I'm not 1,000% sure, but it's definitely doable. Need that on a shirt or print. Yeah. Kat, you should make NFT art. I would invest. Oh gosh, I don't even.
We try to go down this rabbit hole, but she just is so anti 99.9% of my business venture ideas just gets instantly shot down.
Maybe.
So
All right, maybe.
I've
maybe
put together the numbers. I've crunched the spreadsheets. I've put together all these graphs. I have these nice presentations, and they just get shut down. So if anyone's looking for a business manager, I might need to.
Maybe I'll test it out with NFT art. Who knows? Maybe I'll do a trial, a test, and see. But yeah, after that shameless plug, all those are available on my website, catherinelasalle.com, always linked. Do you do all of your art completely freehand, or do you use one of those art tablet thingies? No, this is traditional, I guess is what people call it now, like by hand, pencil, colored pencil, paint. Mainly like colored pencil, though, is what I use for all those drawings, so like traditional. But I really want a tablet because I would love to do digital art. And I think there are a lot of perks to digital art that you can't get with traditional, like freehand. So I would like to try that out. But yeah, I think shameless plug to end off the night. We've been streaming for a while.
You didn't plug. I plugged for you.
You did. Thank you.
I plugged for you.
But thank you guys for hanging out. This is one of our longer dork discourses, but we had a lot to discuss this evening. I'm not kidding. I might do a rewatch or a reaction or some sort of video commentary on the 1978 Lord of the Rings for you, Alice. So I'm serious. I might do it. Starting to integrate some more Lord of the Rings on the channel. What are you doing?
Someone was asking about Ahsoka and Luke or Grogu art. And so there's a commission that she did that is not for copyright concerns.
Oh,
it's not
yeah.
currently a
print.
But I will share this screen here. Yeah, so right here are some of the commissions that she did for people, but out of basically there's a very fine line for if you're gonna do art based off of existing IP, like if you have enough original twist to it, then it's okay. But if you're just doing if you're taking a shot and then recreating it like one-to-one,
like a direct screenshot,
yeah.
It's a little more of a hairy situation. So I don't want to get in trouble, so I don't make prints of those pieces. But I mean, I will probably be opening for commissions again soon. I'm a little bit. Don't go, says Zech. Oh, stop! No, you're making me sad. Oh, stop. No, we're probably gonna be back streaming again this week, maybe Friday or something, because I want to start doing gaming streams again, because we're gonna do Arkham Knight to get hype for the Batman coming up soon. I saw some of you talking about you already got your tickets. I'm jealous. We have to look into that. I don't know if our local theater has even opened up ticket sales yet, but gotta get on that. But yes, we're gonna be back with a gaming stream, so maybe I'll do a poll and see what time works this weekend. But maybe Friday. I mean, who knows? I don't know.
Maybe.
This is what our Friday nights are, our gaming streams.
And that's totally fine.
It is
totally fine.
But yeah, as always, thank you guys so much for hanging out. We appreciate it. Hope you're all doing all right after our first Wednesday with no Book of Boba, but this was a fun discussion tonight, regardless. So now that we don't have Book of Boba Fett to talk about, we'll be asking you guys more for your opinions on topics that we should be discussing each week. But yeah, thank you guys for being here, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Stay tuned. Some gaming streams will be back, and we can hang out again over the weekend. But until then, what are you? Oh, Ada.
Arkham Origins. Yeah, she's gonna play Arkham Origins.
Oh yes. Yeah, I don't have I think you showed me the trailer for Arkham Knight. I can't remember.
Yeah, well, Arkham Origins, you're gonna play first. So.
Okay, yes, we're gonna do them in order. Yeah, don't worry.
Well, realistically, you're probably not gonna finish one of them before Batman comes out. So
stop.
You got 2 weeks. Woman.
Have some faith in me. All right, we'll do a 10-hour gaming stream on Friday. All right, everybody, open it to save your calendars. Alright, enough rambling. I can never say goodbye. You guys know the drill. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and chatting and interacting. We appreciate every single one of you. We have so much fun for Dork Discourse this evening, and we'll see you guys again very soon. But until then, take care. May the force be with you guys. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, night, morning, evening, 3 a.m., wherever you're at. And I hope you have a force-filled week ahead, as my friend Charlie would say. Alrighty, thank you guys. Take care. Have a great night.
See you next week.